Alright, we're live, and you'll have to forgive me. The scene, I was kind of setting up blinds. So 1 second here.
Hey, you gotta turn that music down a bit too.
Music blasting loudly on stream.
It's really loud on the stream.
Oh god. Okay. Oh, the aspect ratio is off. That's fine, so I can do that at least. Okay. Everything else seems fine though. No other... Is my voice on stream?
Yeah, I was checking audio. You still lower the music like just a tad, but other than that, it's great.
Lower the music by just a tad.
Like just.
I don't have my headphones on today because it is hot as balls, and for some reason this side of Washington State doesn't believe in air conditioning.
Yeah.
Which is weird.
Well, it's normally temperate here, but you know, global warming.
Cringe.
Global warming is super cringe. Alright. But we're live. And I guess by, wait, do I have... Oh. By some, I guess, twist of fate, this will also be our stream where we kind of count down to 1,000 subscribers, probably. Because we're at 997, and we're very likely to get up to 1,000 before we're done here today.
Woo!
Which is
Hell yeah.
Very exciting. And you know what'd be more exciting? If I actually give y'all the code to get into this game.
That's pretty
sounds
exciting.
cringe.
Wait, do we need that really?
Can we just like mind's eye it?
Yeah, we're all experts
I mean,
here.
y'all can go and just print up paper sheets. I won't stop you.
No.
Yo, cured by flame? Oh shit.
Yes. Alex, how do you approve of my title for our game? Cured by Flame.
It sounds 40k.
Sounds 40k. I
Or
try
like
to
a barbecue stream.
I feel like I've probably heard an Inquisitor say that at some point.
I'm sure.
I know
And I
there's
have
one
a
big
picture
Inquisitor
of-
who likes burning people at the stake.
I have a picture of one of the many, many hive worlds right here for you all to see, right on the front screen.
Hell yeah.
Well, wait, what if they just like to cook barbecue, though? And they just don't like to burn people?
Oh, they do like to cook barbecue. Barbecued Xenos.
Yes. Like Hawaiian shirt, cargo shorts, ready to flip burgers.
Yeah, burgers made of Eldar or Orc. Orc are the vegetarian option.
Delicious.
You can cook up some orc if you're going vegetarian.
I just said that.
Oh, I completely spaced.
I was just like,
Oh, that was a really
Orc.
good joke, Alex. I've
Orc.
never heard that one before.
Shut
Thank
up.
you, thank you.
Alex?
Shut
That
up.
was
It's really
good.
good.
Hate you all. Alright.
Damn, what the fuck, dude? Why are you being so
Yeah.
mean to us?
Listen, it's not our fault that Alex is just really funny and told a good joke.
That was completely original, too.
And he's just so talented, guy.
This
Just
is
come
literally
on.
live recorded. Someone can clip it right now.
Do it, guys. Clip it. Show us that Alex was the originator of that joke.
Yeah, just, show the truth that I said it first, and then Cam try to steal it.
Yep. That's what I heard, and I'm sure Clippers will show us the truth.
I hate you.
Yes, they better.
Anyway, so we've all come here today to to get ready for Warhammer 40k Wrath and Glory. This has been on the list, this has been second or third place in the polls for like 6 months. Warhammer has gotten such little love, and it just barely won it on the poll by like a few votes between it and Blades in the Dark. So, we finally get to play. And, of course, the, I guess, theme or what we're going to be doing for this particular one-shot is you are all going to be members of whatever factions. I'm not... The only rules is that you must be some Imperium or human faction. You cannot pick from the Renegades, Orcs, or Eldar for your archetypes. But you can pick anything from Tier 3 and down. So you can be Tactical Space Marines, or you can be Hive Gangers if you really want to. But for one reason or another, you are all going to be making characters who have been, well, more or less conscripted by whatever order or organization you're from to get on the good side of the Rogue Trader Jekyll Varanus. And you guys will be in the Gilead system, which is a system that is almost completely segmented off from the Imperium due to the Great Rift. If it wasn't for Rogue Trader Jekyll Varanus and his expert navigator from House Omnicara discovering the Straits of Andraste, this system would have been completely segmented off and eventually withered and died, as so many others have since the advent of the warp storms. So, to get on the Rogue Trader's good side, there has been word of somehow, some way, Gene Stealers have made it onto one of the onto the capital world, Gilead Primus. Or at least rumors of Gene Stealers. And since we have some people here who are very unfamiliar with Warhammer lore, just a brief tidbit of what Gene Stealers are. There is... Calling them a race doesn't even feel appropriate. There is this species called the Tyranids. And they are a hyper-evolving mass of teeth and tongues and all kinds of various mutation parts that are dead set on consuming all biomass in the universe. And they range in intelligence from pure carnage-filled animals to pure carnage-filled mad geniuses. One of their various tactics are to infect a particular race with their unique genome to create what are called gene stealers, which are essentially humans or whatever race who are infected with Tyranid materials and gain Tyranid mutations, and they are usually the prelude to a greater invasion. Now, what's bizarre about this is getting to this system is already massively hard, and the fact that gene stealers have been found on this planet, which, by the way, has a population of 16 billion, is concerning. They could have been here even before everything had happened. The problem is that this planet is, despite its the amount of effort that's required to go to and from here, is relatively close to the core, which, you know, has Terra and Mars. So, gene stealers are bad. Granted, it's not something... So, the mission that y'all are going on could last, and probably will last, for a few hundred years. probably, give or take. It's a planet of 16 billion people. And rooting out all the gene stealers is going to be massively hard. You are also not the only ones from your various sects or organizations that are going to this planet to investigate. The more the merrier. And so, whether you like it or not, you've been essentially imprisoned on Gilead until you root out all the gene stealers, and until you're sure that they're all gone. Which is very hard to do. So, maybe you're here for a punishment. Maybe you're here to, make another victory in the glory of the God Emperor. Or maybe you're a ganger on this planet that really wants to get in good with the rogue trader and are willing to do literally anything to get into their good graces, even if it means traveling around with a bunch of people who will murder you without a second thought. So, the purpose of the Session Zero is for you all to determine what characters you would like to play and to build them. Now, this system uses a very interesting build system that's very similar to the tabletop version of the game, or the war game version of the game, I should say. Essentially, you get a number of points, and you build your character using these points, buying attributes, buying skills, and buying talents, backgrounds, what have you. It's going to be a little bit of an advanced process, so I'm not expecting everyone to really build their character completely today. I'm only expecting y'all to at least know what you want to play so that you have enough to work on until next week, in which we'll do this on either Monday or Tuesday, depending on everyone's availability. But that being the case, let's talk Warhammer. I'm sure we have questions, and I'm sure there are things that people want to look into. We have a PDF version, a PDF version of the book, so I would prefer for everyone to hop into that and to probably open up to page page 69.
Nice.
Nice.
And this is just going to be the section that has the brief overview. Predominantly, I probably want you guys looking on page 70 at the character creation archetypes, because you can pick pretty much everything on page 70. Can't pick any renegades, Eldari, or orcs.
Aww.
Aww.
He wouldn't be allowed on the planet. That's the problem.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, this universe is really racist.
Oh,
and
yeah.
if orcs were there, there'd be a bigger problem. Like, to be honest.
Yeah, orcs are a different kind of infestation. They're literally killer mold or fungus.
Yeah, they're just fungus that look like orcs. They scream real loud and run at you and try to murder you real hard.
Yeah.
And if you see an orc, there's possibly millions.
There are
nearby.
more orcs.
And they will kill you because they think it's funny.
Yeah, there's like I think a book about literally, well, it's not all about this, but like one big part of it. It's literally just the orcs and the Tyranids fighting perpetually on a planet because the Tyranids cannot eat the orcs fast enough. And
really
the orcs are killing the Tyranids too fast. And so the more orcs are being produced because orcs, the more you kill them, the more you spread them around, essentially. Unless you do it by fire. And the more biomass you feed of Tyranids, the more there are. So it was a planet that was literally like a cooking pot of Tyranids and orcs until... which at first, the guy in the book was like, oh, this is a great idea. The Tyranids and orcs will just hold each other at bay. And then they realized like 10 or 20 years later that this is bad because the planet's becoming completely covered in orcs and Tyranids.
Oh. So orcs are like cheese, is what you're telling me, right?
Yeah, you know, they're kind of very much like cheese in a lot of ways.
They're all just like big, dumb green. They speak in Cockney British accents. They're very like they have very basic wants and needs. There's a great story I really like of this one really big orc captain who traveled through the warp to have faster light travel, which can mess around with time, and he found himself in the past. And this captain had a gun he really liked. It's his favorite gun. And he stumbled across his own flagship back in time. There's 2 of them in the same area. So he got really excited and murdered his past self so he could now have 2 of his favorite gun.
Amazing.
And he is happier than ever.
Oh, he isn't dead. Okay.
Oh no, you can't change. If you you can travel through time, you can't affect the past. It's fixed in 40k. You can't do much time travel fuckery. No, he just has 2 of his favorite gun, and he is really happy about it. Because it's his gun. Only he can have his gun.
It's amazing.
I love that for him.
Yeah, so if you pick any of these kind of like races or whatever, whenever you play this game, you pretty much all have to be from the same general faction. There are some points of crossover that happen rarely, very rarely, but they're not very long stints, and they're always incredibly tense. But that's fine, because the variety of different organizations in the Imperium, you're gonna have your own problems dealing with just other humans. Whether you're the tech-worshipping tech priests and Adeptus Mechanicus, or whether you're the die-hard imperialist sororities, or whether you're the die-hard militaristic space marines, everyone has things to complain about and argue with each other about. The only thing that they ever agree on is death to Xenos. To be fair, there's not really any good people in the Warhammer universe. They're at constant and consistent war. In fact, Gilead Primus is essentially well, at like many hive worlds in the Warhammer 40k universe, is almost completely and utterly dedicated to industry, and a lot of industry towards war, war resources, whether it's producing guns, materials, ammunition, lots of ammunition. There are whole planets dedicated purely to creating ammunition for the Imperium. In fact, it is so bad on Gilead that the planet is built in a kind of tiered structure where it gets built higher and higher and higher, and the surface of the planet for 200 meters is covered in dense fog from the many, many manufacturers on the planet.
Sounds lovely.
Hey, I guess where you guys are gonna go, because where would be the best place to hide on a planet like this? Probably the places most inhospitable to life.
Nah, probably not.
Hey, it could be worse. We could be on a death world.
Yeah, you could be on a death world, or one of the many, many, many worlds that are constantly attacked by megafauna.
That does sound cool.
So, I would like for y'all to look, ask questions, and I think once everyone starts kind of getting more ideas on what they would like to do for characters, we can start going over how the character sheet works. The character sheet is not as bad as it was in Starfinder, thank the gods.
Cool.
But it's almost 100% manual input, so there's not a lot of places where the input will automatically fix itself. It's just a digital character sheet, more or less. So, a lot of it is going to just have to be put in by hand.
Okay. So Alex, what are you doing again?
I'm going to be playing an Imperial Fifth Space Marine. Specifically, I'm going to be flavoring my character as a Imperial Fist chaplain. And I've already picked out his name, roughly know what war gear I'm going to give him, and I've picked his wall name, so it's okay.
His wall.
Wall name.
That's a thing for Imperial Fists. They gotta have a special name. That's their wall name.
What does that mean?
It's just a fancy title that attributes to some of your deeds and exploits.
So what race is that? Is that human?
Astartes.
Adeptus
Okay.
Astartes.
They were human at one point.
Well,
The
I mean,
Astartes,
all of
at
these
least.
people are human.
Yeah. Astartes are genetically modified to the point where Astartes struggle with the idea of if they're even human at this point or not.
Oh shit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, yeah. It's a lot more complicated than that, but yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Also, because we're all playing as either, well, humans or Imperium, you'll be able to all freely select one bionic reconstruction. So one part of your body doesn't have to be, but will probably be replaced by some bionics. So keep that in mind for your mental visualization of your characters. Also, in my recommendation, whenever you're picking from anything, pick from the highest tier that you can pick. You don't have to. The higher the tier, which we have a max tier of level 3, or tier 3, I guess, there's technically not levels, because you get more than the point cost in bonuses. So being a tactical Space Marine is better than being a Space Marine Scout. You don't have to be, and there is some merit to picking something like an Imp Guard or maybe even like a Hive Scum, just from the fact that you don't have to put anything into it, so you can more freely distribute your points. But you're going to be at an overall deficit compared to characters who pick a higher tier.
So you see, I think I'm also going tactical Space Marine like Alex. So I'm not going to be a chaplain.
Oh no, I want to do the same thing. I'm sorry.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
more Space Marines!
Let's just all go Space Marine.
In fact, the
Yes.
game plays better when more people are the same thing, which is very Warhammer.
Yeah, if we're all the same, though granted, there are a lot of really cool factions, so like, don't feel like you gotta play Space Marine, but it'll be very fun too if because there's a lot of different chapters that are all act very differently from each other, have different abilities and all that, so you can play an all Space Marine party and still be very different because each chapter's got their own like specialties and downside for existing.
Yeah, but what if we're all just the same
The
chapter
same
as
one?
you?
Well, see,
And we all just,
that's
like-
the great thing about Warhammer. If y'all pick exactly the same thing, then y'all can just spend the whole session just being like, brother,
Brother!
please."
Can we do this? Can we please
Brother.
do this?
Brother, I am pinned here!
So-
I
Plus,
was
we all-
planning to do either a tech priest or an imperial commissar, but I'm on board for this.
But also, that means we all get to just build very big shit to take care of our problems.
I am also genuinely like surprised. I talked to Devin about this. I for sure thought you'd want to play a Psyker Booter.
That's also one I was thinking of, but
And to be
Tech-
fair, Psychers do exist in almost all the orders, in some degree. Mostly because
Can you be a
have to
space-
have Psychers.
Can you be a Space Marine Psyker?
Yeah, you can be a librarian.
Nerd.
That's
Wait.
what we're called. You technically, yeah. Yeah, you can be a. They're called Tech Marines. They are they're Space Marines who went off and did a pilgrimage to Mars, or any other Forge Worlds.
Yes, and they worship the machine god.
Yep.
But they do offer praises to the great Omnissiah.
It just so happens to be the Emperor of Mankind.
And
I don't know what the fuck most of you were saying.
Classic Earthmender. Adeptus Mechanicus is in Wrathing Glory?
They worship a god that inhabits all machines, machine god, and then they worship kind of a speaker or messiah for the machine god, basically robot Jesus. And they believe that is the emperor of mankind, which is they are not okay. They're essentially a separate thing from the Imperium, but are allied with the Imperium. It's like if Amazon went off, made an alliance with the United States, but became its own country.
Yeah,
It's the same shit.
and the Imperium cannot exist without the Adeptus Mechanicus. So,
There's a lot of people in the hierarchy that really dislike the machine cult, as it's called,
yeah.
but they can't do anything about it because if they say, we don't like your god, they can go, okay, I guess you're not getting any guns today.
Yeah, this is also a universe that has artifact tech, which is just high tech that they don't understand how it works. So yeah, the Mechanicus are very powerful because they don't even know how it works.
Nope.
They splash it with holy water, paint scripts, and make cherub baby golem things to make the things work. That's how it works. The Striders are hilarious because they never turn them off because they're afraid if they do, they'll never turn on again. So they just have these giant robot chickens running around in like either pens or on treadmills, and then they have to lasso them so they can use them in battle.
Amazing.
They have tanks that run off of tech priests as the battery. They're just like, Adept, get in the tank. We must power the war engines. They're like, by the Omnissiah's will, and they hop in and slowly die to power this really good tank.
Warhammer is great. I love it.
It's so over the top and goofy. Because that's the thing. On the surface, it's really dark, really fucked up, really gory, like all that stuff. But like once you dig into it, everything's so dumb and goofy.
Yeah.
Like,
I love that.
For example, there's a thing. It's another tech priest thing, a Mechanicus thing. There is a machine called a Land Raider. Do you want to know how? Can you guess how it got its name? It's a little like land speeder, but it's
It
called Land
rained
Raider.
land.
No, it's because it was discovered by a guy named Archon Land.
Yep.
Oh my god.
Yep.
Amazing. Warhammer is like dark and like gritty to the point that it's funny.
Exactly.
Yeah, it's kind of a parody of itself. In
Yes.
many ways. Yeah, and as with many of, essentially, if you're allowed to exist in the Imperium, it's because there's some reason why you're allowed to exist. Psychers exist because you can't navigate through the warp without a navigator who is a psyker of some degree anyway. They're not even necessarily full psychers.
They just have a genetic mutation.
Yeah, there's a couple, because there are straight up psychers that can act as navigators, and then there's also a subhuman race of pure navigators. Yeah. So,
There's a lot.
there's a lot. In fact, Jackal Avernus's navigator is actually just a psyker from a very powerful group, the Omnicara, and he's just a super powerful psyker that was able to traverse the rift.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
Being a navigator without being like a navigator, you're setting yourself up to just go insane.
Yeah, he's an ancient and skilled navigator, which is even more impressive.
Yep, most navigators are fucking bonkers insane.
Yeah, because it fucks with your brain to go through the warp.
Love that.
Your faster than light travels just to go through super hell. It's pretty bad.
And if you guys want pictures to help, on page 94 through like quite a ways actually, you'll find like images on almost every page of the various factions.
All this stuff sounds really cool and I want to play it, but the more I think about it, the more I think maybe I just do want to be the exact same thing as everyone else.
Like I said, like you can still, with various talents and the way you put your skills into your characters, be all from the same order and everything, and still be very different characters. It's all up to y'all and how you want to roleplay through this. It's one of these one-shots, right? We're not gonna finish it. It's just gonna be a test of the system, its combat, its skill checks, or whatever, how it actually works. So whatever fun characters that you can bring together to the table, that if you have fun with it, it's all good. Like, what the rules, right? So here's the rules for how your characters have to act in this one shot. If you are playing a Space Marine, insubordination is instant death. Any characters who fail to shoot the insubordinator will also suffer instant death. If you are from the Adeptus Mechanicus, insubordination is okay, as long as you do not slander the name of the Holy Emperor too much or get too much on the nerves of a superior. You're allowed to coast. If you are in either the Agents of the Imperium or the Sororitas, slandering the Emperor in any form or fashion is instant death. Not only that, but you and everyone that are above you in the chain of command must commit suicide if you slander the God Emperor. Characters who fail to shoot the slanderer, well, it's not as big as with the Space Marines, but it can't hurt. And if you're playing as either the Scum, or if you're playing one of the Agents of the Imperium, Space Marines have permission to shoot you if you get in the way of the mission. In any form. And then if you play one of the Scum, or one of the high world people, like normal humans, you can be killed just for inconveniencing any of the other characters.
Oh.
Yeah.
We're playing Warhammer and we're playing it right. Which means death.
Love Warhammer.
Yeah, regular people have literally no rights, and most of 40k is I have authority here. No, I have authority here. It's like the
And then
entirety
they
of it.
kill each other because
Yeah.
how dare they claim they have authority?
The only
Trigger
people
happy.
that can get away with being like a little shitter are the tech priests, because they're kind of just too important. And also, anytime they're in a book, it's really the author does their best to just make them really weird or really goofy. They all have these strange quirks that everyone in the room just has to put up with, because they're like, we need him though. He's really annoying, but goddamn is he useful.
Am I a tech priest IRL?
Yes.
Aw.
Except you're not that useful, but we still need
Yeah.
you.
Oh.
I think I'm gonna be a tech priest.
Kinda, actually. There's actually this disease / compulsion kind of deal, this mental disorder in 40k that a lot of tech priests or at least tech adjacent people have. I don't remember the exact name of it, but essentially what it is you have an addiction to and a compulsion for information and information gathering. So there are these people that know so much, but they'll tell you, you ask them, hey, what's the planetary government ship here like? And they're like, all right, it's ran by this governor, and this governor is from this family, and this family had this history, and 1,000 years ago they went off into this. He keep talking as an offshoot of information until you tell them to shut up. They all have these weird just quirks, and tech priests are just addicted to information in general. So a lot of them get hit with this.
Yeah, a lot of these have some quirks. Imp-Guard or even Tempestuous Scions are mandated to throw themselves in the way of fire if it's to protect someone of relative importance, which honestly could be anyone of a tier 2 or higher, depending.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna be a tech priest. I think that's what's gonna happen.
He'll be harder to kill, though.
I know. Okay, my first character is gonna be my burner character is gonna be a Space Marine.
Yeah, if you want to quickly any percent it, if you see slight danger, say, I don't know, guys, maybe we should leave.
Yep, and everyone
I don't know.
Everyone turn.
That order seems kind of misguided to me.
Shut the fuck up.
Maybe that probably.
What did you say?
Horus had a few good points. Everyone turns.
And
We
yeah,
start off this scene introducing our characters. Just we're walking out of the ship. It's like, actually, that Horus guy, I kind of get where he was coming from.
oh my god.
You would be killed on the spot.
No,
like
you
no
wouldn't be
thought.
killed on the spot. You'd be
Worse than killed.
worse than death in a lot of ways. Not even screaming wall worse than death. Yeah, that's a good way to get tortured for a long time. Very, very long time. There's a lot of ways I could describe it as I've seen and read. All of them are a little too R-rated for this stream.
Yeah. The man, you cannot compliment the man so evil he became a verb. When he got killed so hard he got verbed. Getting Horused means you're Alt F4'd from the universe.
Yeah. Yeah, if
Love
you say
that.
that, literally any Space Marine is duty bound to kill you. And that's when you're lucky. If any of the Imperium's agents hear this, they're going to torture you, and then they're going to torture your entire family and everyone you've ever met casually enough to make sure that there's no spies of Horus in the Imperium.
That I'm taking over this one shot. I'm saying that immediately, and then you guys are gonna have to go search out anyone I've ever met.
No, you're just going to be off screen.
Oh, God.
Curses.
Fucking wrecked.
Oh yeah, there's also there's also at least in this system, because you can, to my understanding, well, if you want to go back, you can play a member of the Inquisition, which are like the detectives, private investigator, James Bond of the 40k universe, with the phenomenal mantra, "Innocence proves nothing."
Yeah.
When you're declared guilty by an Inquisitor, you're guilty.
Yeah, pretty much you can put an Inquisitional Acolyte or Adept.
That sounds awesome too.
There's some fucking... They're scary.
The point
Like-
of this for y'all is to have fun, alright? Because
Oh, yeah.
let me just lay down the law. And Cassic Earthmender mentioned this in the chat. Space Marines are literally better than all humans. Hands down. A Psyker, maybe. But that's also because they're a volatile bomb themselves. And even then, that's only if the Psyker gets lucky. Space Marines are just going to be better at everyone than almost everything. So, you don't all have to be Space Marines. The whole point is to have fun. And the whole point of this mission is to provide enough either people or insight to find Gene Stealers.
As well, the thing I truly love the most about 40k is that there's honestly a faction or a sub-faction for everybody. There's something in 40k that you can play as that you'll just personally think sounds like the coolest, and gravitating towards that is you're only in for a good time. So what everyone says when you're trying to get into like the war game is just whichever one looks cool, like coolest to you, just do that.
Except
'Cause it'll be the most fun.
then you'll go bankrupt.
Yeah. Yeah.
Wait, what? You were a bit quiet for me on that one.
Oh, except
Cam.
for Tyranids. Because you'll go bankrupt.
You have to buy so many models, you go bankrupt.
Oh.
That's if you're playing the war game. If you're just for this, like looking into it, if there's any that you just think, oh, that sounds neat, it's probably the best one to go with. And also, besides like doing any extra research, I know most things about all the factions. So if you have any questions, I can 100% answer it.
They all sound real cool though.
Yeah, it's just about what y'all can find. Like I said, if you're all Space Marines from the same order, then you can just enjoy the straight brotherhood and camaraderie of being Space Marines together. And if you're from all different factions, then you can enjoy the sheer turmoil and hassle of different organizations working together in a very tenuous and superficial group. Whatever y'all think you can have the most fun with. No one, please, take this seriously.
You're a
Are you gonna go with
coward.
What?
the character? Are you gonna go with the character that you were pitching to me?
We should just all be Space Marines and then just have our characters be super bros and then just look over at Devin like,
Oh my god, Devin, if you play that guardsman in a party of all Space Marines,
That would be hilarious.
that would be so fucking funny. Why?
No, I just imagine, right? The guy comes in, he goes super Rambo in the scene. He's flying through, rolling, throwing grenades, killing a bunch of people. He kills like 7 people, and then you just turn over to one of the Space Marines who just like lays out their gun and just destroys like 20 people in one go. And it's like, that's the difference. That's the difference. The greatest Rambo is nothing compared to even the worst Space Marine. Except for those one dudes on that
Marbo?
planet. Yeah, Cameron.
It's Sly Marbo
Yeah.
on Catachan. Yeah, no, Sly Marbo is literally Rambo.
He's literally... he's super funny. Especially in text-to-speech.
Yeah, no, Sly Marbo is a character that has done, like, incomprehensible shit solo. He has the most awards given to any Imperial Guard officer, to the point where everyone's like, he's like a living legend that everyone thinks is like, he's probably just immortal, right? Like, he's taken down, like, I think he's taken down a Titan by himself. And by the way, the Titan is like, I think 20 stories high.
Yeah.
Probably taller. He took it down by himself. And everyone's like, how? And he's like, I just did. Like, damn, okay, man.
Yeah. So... But that's just silly Warhammer writing. And the fact that, like, the only reason why those people are worthwhile at all is because they make the best knives.
True.
okay, I'm committing to Space Marine. I'm doing it.
Same.
Alright,
I like
we
how
have
it's-
4 Space Marines and then whatever Devin is.
Are you okay with this, Devin? Okay.
Good.
In that case, then it's just a deciding factor of which chapter you're from.
Your chapter is the coolest. What are you talking
They're okay, because here's the thing: each chapter's pretty fucking cool. Is the
They're all
problem?
pretty sick.
They're all really cool.
Is there
Let
a
me
place where
find
the
it.
chapters are?
Yes,
I'm
looking
going
for
to
it
the
right
page.
now. 1 second.
about? Okay, but like, if we're from different chapters, do we still get to do the whole brother?
Oh yeah, 100%.
Okay.
They still
Yes.
like each other. They just don't fully agree with, like, I don't fully agree with your tactics, or there's some parts of you I don't like, but we're still battle brothers at the end of the day.
I know my chapter then. Fuck you,
Okay.
Alex.
So what we got is, it's on page 95 is when it starts. The first option is Blood Angels. They are masters of melee vampires. Their whole thing is they really like chain swords, and they have a thirst for blood.
What was
Um,
the page again?
95 onward. They're scarred from the day when their Primarch Sanguinius was killed by Horus, and as such, they're just haunted by the memory of it, and they really like melee combat because they also really like blood. There's the Dark Angels, which are essentially they are also kind of melee driven, but they are essentially like medieval knights, like hidden orders and secret society kind of deals. They definitely didn't almost go traitor back in the day. And their entire shit is that they have a big secret and you're not allowed to know the secret, but they kind of keep giving away that they have a big secret.
Uh-huh.
Imperial
Well, they have
Fists.
an ability called The Secret.
Yeah. But like the way to put it is like there's a group of people called the Fallen that they hate and despise because they did go traitor. And members who know the secret and must atone for the problem are called the Unforgiven. They're really upset about what happened, and they're the type of people to be like, nice weather today, and they're like, we didn't go trader! Stop asking! Like, I didn't. Like, don't think about it. But also they do this very funny maneuver of they're in the middle of a battle, saving some guardsmen from Tyranids or something, and then they hear whispers that the Fallen are nearby, and they just get up and leave to go chase the Fallen. Yeah, they're shitters. They're really funny. There are the
Imperial Fists.
Iron Hand. Oh, Imperial Fists. Imperial Fists, they are masters of the siege. And also fortifications. Their Primarch, Rogel Dorn, is the guy who built the Imperial Palace. And their whole thing, too, is honor and discipline and being as stubborn as possible. They refuse. They're super defiant. They never give up, much to their own problem. They're a little too defiant sometimes, where they will just hold a ground that is almost impossible to hold because we must hold this position and get more people killed than kind of needs. But, you know. Like sieging, like big weaponry, they really love power fists, and they just punch you real hard. There are...
Go Raven Guard. I'm sad.
Raven Guard?
They have a... they suffer a 2 DN penalty to any combined action with non-Raven Guards.
Yeah, they kind of do their own thing. At least their own tactics.
You know?
I mean, I can, but like I will suffer penalties for it.
Oh, okay.
Only for like a special action.
Yeah, it's
I don't know what those are, though.
assisting each other.
Eh. There is the Iron Hands. Their whole shit is flesh is weak. They believe in augmentation and eliminating the parts of themselves that are weak, which is mainly their fleshy bits. They love their augments. Their Primarch, Ferrus Manus, got murdered by a really hot dude named Fulgrim. Their whole thing, too, is like one of their rules in here is the more cybernetic replacements you have, the more bonuses you get on willpower tests. They really like they're pretty like cool. They're not part of the Mechanicus, but they really like the Mechanicus. Then the Raven Guard, stealth jetpacks. They're very stealthy. They like their claw weapons a lot, but they love flying at the enemy real fast. There aren't many of them, which is why they're very independent. They have a pretty fucked up gene seed. So there's not many Raven Guard, but so they kind of are all trained to be individuals that act towards a greater purpose. They're pretty cool. The Salamanders are they really like fire. They love the 2 weapons that they love: Meltas, which are they shoot you with a beam that is the temperature of the surface of the sun, and it melts whatever it touches, and then flamers. It's a flamethrower. They really like it. They're master crafters. All their equipment is built by them and maintained by them. They're also the nicest Space Marine. They're not the nicest people in the Imperium. They are nice for a Space Marine, which means they care about civilian casualties. These pyromaniacs are the ones who are always like leading civilian relief efforts. Space wolves. They are Vikings with a wolf fetish. Everything about them is prefixed with wolf. Wolf priests, wolf whatever, wolf in this, wolf in that. They're kind of like werewolf vampires. They love their big axes. They just like to charge in, kick ass, be as brutal as possible. They're so dedicated to being Vikings. Space Marines are immune to poisons, and alcohol is a poison. They found a way to create alcohol for a Space Marine. As such, it is incredibly toxic for literally anybody but a Space Marine. They live on a big ice world, and they hunt all the time. They're pretty cool. They're like howling, being wolves, and killing things. They're Ultramarines, and moving on.
The Ultramarines, from an unbiased standpoint, are...
We don't want an unbiased standpoint, Cam. Shut up.
Too bad. No, you
Ultramarines cringe.
I'm going to do this so that people know, especially Alicia, who doesn't know any better. They're the Boy Scouts of the Space Marines. They
and as a
always
former
work
Boy
to be
Scout,
the
they're
best.
cringe.
And they're very proud of it. They have lots of pride in being Ultramarines. And considering that their Primarch is the only one known to be alive and is currently around and kicking, it's only made it worse. So
Yeah.
the Ultramarines they'll get it done. They'll get it done better, and then they'll let you know how better they did it. Get it done.
They are essentially they are jack of all trade type thing. They follow something called the Codex Astartes, which is just a Bible that just is all about battle tactics and how you should actually run your battle. Half of these chapters really are down for the Codex, and half of them think it's cringe. Like for example, I'm pretty sure the Raven Guard think that the Codex is cringe.
Okay, I think I'm back
I
on the
think.
Raven Guard.
So I will also mention just an interesting game mechanic. So there's something called exalted icons in this game. It's essentially when you roll sixes. Any excess sixes you can be shifted to the group's pool of glory, and glory points can be used to add dice to bonuses and everything like that. The Ultramarines specifically can bank up to 2 exalted icons for the glory per test instead of 1. So they essentially have double the glory gain of any of the other traditions. So if you want to play a super support marine who gives the group a lot of glory for use with their rolls, Ultramarines are the way to go.
There's also a meme that you're not allowed to say the Primarch's name correctly. You have to say literally anything about Robute Gilliman.
No, it's Robot Girly Man.
It's Benedict Cumberbatch all over again.
Booty Gorilla Man, yeah.
The Ultra Smurfs, yeah.
Yeah. And then there's the White Scars. They're honestly, I am an Imperial Fist fanboy, but Jagatai Khan is the best Primarch. White Scars' whole thing is they go fast. They're very Mongolian in their both tactics and descent. And essentially imagine the Mongols on jet bikes. They go fast as fuck.
That's their whole thing. They're just Mongols on space bikes. That's it.
They love going as fast as inhumanly possible. And the rules in this, they kind of just have ADHD. Sitting still is really hard for a White Scar. It's real hard. They're the guys who they go quickly as possible, like immediate strike tactics. They hit you. You were hit by a White Scar before you even know they're there, and they're laughing the whole time because they just really like going fast. And also a thing with them too is that they are White Scars are very humble. They'll never tell you how cool they are. They'll just be the coolest guy in the room.
That's also
Damn, it's kind of cool.
Forgotten
Yeah.
the legions.
They kind of during the Great Crusade when they were reclaiming the planets when Big E was still around. Jagatai Khan's was like, I'm just gonna do my own thing. Is that cool, Emperor? And he's like, yeah, I guess, dude. So they just went off and fought a bunch of aliens for fun.
Yeah, fighting a bunch of Eldars for a long time. Even now, maybe. Who knows?
And another big thing for playing a Space Marine is you have 19 implants. And there's a rule in this of each of these implants on the list. You can actually get a bonus to a check if you can say why your gland helps you in this situation. There's some basic stuff that I'm not going to read every single one. You should read it. But for example, Space Marines have 2 hearts, they have 3 lungs, and a fused rib cage. They are immune to poisons. They can breathe underwater, and they can in dangerous atmospheres. Radiation does extremely literally nothing to them. They can just hang out in the vacuum of space and they'll be fine. They have poisonous spit, stuff like that. They have a lot of augmentations that are given to them over the course of years in their training of being a Space Marine, and a lot of people don't survive getting these implants.
Yeah, so if you ever want a bonus, you must tell me exactly what organ is helping you in the situation and why it's helping you.
And specifically for my own end, because I'm a big dumb lore nerd, as an Imperial Fist, I do not have access to the Susan membrane. and the Belcher's gland. Because Imperial Fist's lot, for some reason, those two things just don't work in their gene seed anymore. I cannot put myself in suspended animation, and I don't got poison spit.
So, did y'all get that?
Yeah.
No.
Pick your legions. Let's go.
I'm tempted to go Ultramarine just to upset people, but
Their biggest thing is their actual stuff is fine. The big meme is that they have no flaws and they get the most love. So as such, they're just hated more.
maybe I'll be an Ultramarine that's just really narcissistic.
You're playing that is just a chapter of the Imperial Fist. They're called the Hammers of Dorn. Their entire personality is that they think they're better than Ultramarines.
I also like Space Wolves.
Yeah. You want to be a Space Marine Viking? That's how you do it.
Also, they have a rule. Space Wolves suffer a 2DN penalty for any influence test for authority outside dealing with their own chapter.
Yeah.
You're just like, fuck you. You're not a Space Wolf. You can't tell me what to do. You're not the Wolf Lord.
Wolf Lord.
Oh,
And then
he
he
shit.
starts barking viciously.
Oh
As
my
you
god.
do.
I'll also mention this because Alicia's in the room. Due to a popular parody series, they're also referred to as the Space Corgis.
Okay.
Because in this parody series, the Emperor thought it was a bit much, so he made a decree in this parody series to have all instance of wolf be replaced with corgi, so wolf priests are now called corgomancers. Stuff like that.
I love that so much.
So there's certain areas where you'll just see Space Wolf crossed out and it's Space Corgi when they're talking about it.
I was a little indecisive, but now I know what to choose. 100%.
God, a bunch of space wolves going to a high world to investigate something? That sounds like a terrible idea.
Actually.
Well,
Yeah, the Inquisition could be there. Which actually... Oh, the Night Lords? Yeah, the Night Lords suck.
Well, they're also a rogue faction.
Yeah, they're also traitors. Night Lords are terrorist space marines.
I love those guys.
They do things like flay people alive and put them in public squares. They broadcast screams of your loved ones over the radio channels, so you can't contact your squads. You just hear your loved ones dying. They take over planets without stepping foot on it.
They're the ones I would choose if I could. For sure.
They are fun. They're also the most comically evil space marine faction. They are so goofy.
They're the kind who would be like, "Brother, is that a carriage over there?" "I think it is, brother. What do you think we should do?" Cocks grenade launcher, fires it straight into the carriage. Both laugh evilly.
Yeah, I've read the beginning, half of the Night Lords book, and they just kind of see just regular people doing their thing, and they're like, hey, 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 and they just go murder them. Because they're just there.
Oh god.
Yeah,
they
the whole
suck.
baby carriage thing is a completely legitimate thing they would do.
Yes,
It's hilarious.
I think it's funny. Actually,
It is.
also to mention, since Space Wolves are on that, Space Wolves are also one of the few chapters that are actually pretty cool when interacting with regular people. They actually once went to war with the Inquisition because the Inquisition wanted to kill a bunch of innocent people because they could have been tainted by chaos, and the Space Wolves were like, no. And then when the Inquisition went and did it anyways, the Space Wolves killed all the Inquisitors.
Yeah,
Yeah,
ballers.
Warhammer has such a shaky hierarchy system because the only people who ever listens to anyone are the people who are within the same faction.
Yeah.
Other than that, it's technically a commissar is a higher rank than most space marines.
But they're not going to respect that.
But a commissar won't step on the toes of Space Marines because they will just straight up murk him if he's too in the way. High
Should I-
Inquisitors also, to a higher degree than Commissars, but yeah. Rogue Traders technically rank above Space Marines.
Yeah, it's just there's a bunch of factions that all claim like I exist outside of the military hierarchy, so you have to answer to me. Literally, it is an eternal dick measuring contest when multiple factions are in the same room.
Yeah, the only ones who don't care are the Mechanicus.
Yeah, they're just there to find STCs.
Their metric of like who's better is how much you know and how much of you is organic, and not in the how much being good, as in how little you have is better. And I something that should also be mentioned as well. Your characters are more often than not like hundreds of years old. If you're at least if you're like the scouts, or not the scouts, but the tactical scout. If you're just a normal scout, then you're probably like in your 50s, maybe.
Yeah, scouts are they don't have every implant yet. They're like new.
They're the new guys on the block, and they're just kind of in training. But like this age of humanity, like even normal people can live for stupid long periods of time. Some characters are relatively immortal because they just like the tech is so good that they just don't die of aging.
Rejuvenation treatments.
Yeah. So.
There's a pretty cool Imperial Guard character that is, I think he's over 200 to 300 years old, because he just is in a position where he can just get this treatment that essentially it just resets his cells to be like, to stop the degradation of aging. So you can just age again, kind of deal. He's just had it done because he's in this super important position, so everyone just lets him have this treatment. So he's like 200, 300 by the time he's like presumed dead.
Yeah, there's some characters who are so old that like they've been here since almost the beginning of the Great Divide, and what's the era called where like all of humanity kind of got split off from each other?
The Segmentum.
Yeah,
it basically there's a big event that will come up for it playing a Space Marine, because every Space Marine chapter is there, called the Fall of Cadia. There was this big old rift in space-time called the Eye of Terror, and right in front of it was a little planet named Cadia. Cadia was the producer of the most Imperial Guard soldiers. Their entire culture was producing soldiers as young as possible, to the point where they were ready to be drafted the second they became of age. So like everybody on Cadia knew how to operate a lasgun and like all that stuff. Eventually, a dude by the name of Abaddon the Despoiler, he leads multiple Black Crusades, as they're called, to take down Cadia. And on the 13th one, he managed to fuck up Cadia when he threw a pretty big temper tantrum when he wasn't able to win the battle how he wanted, so he launched his giant fortress into the planet and cracked it. And because Cadia fell, these old tech things that held back this giant Terran reality was able to grow, and it split the galaxy in half. So one half is nearby Terra and like all of like the big planets in the Imperium, and then there's a lot of Imperium planets on the other side of this giant rift tear. Traveling through it is incredibly difficult to impossible. So there's just a lot of planets in the Imperium that are now isolated from help. And a lot of people have a lot of pretty bad thoughts about the fall of Cadia. A lot of which think they could have, done a lot better, and they regret not fully saving Cadia, because now the Imperium's in a really, really bad state. That's at least the bare bones minimum. This is like over the course of 3 books that are each like 400 pages. So there's a lot.
Damn.
Yeah, but no, I was talking about before even that, because there was the warp storms that came up. Oh, God, I can't remember exactly what it is. But like, because one of the things that Big E did when he kind of took over everything was reconnect humanity and invented the throne and all kinds of stuff, but which all happened before the fall of Acadia.
Yeah, and like that's around in the year 30,000, and currently 40k is in the 42nd millennium.
Yeah, and like I said, there's people that have been around even since 30k.
Yeah. Most of them are not many loyalists. A lot of chaos, like the big villains, the big bads of the universe are still around.
A lot of the big bads and some tech priests.
Yeah, there's some tech priests that are still around and some custodians that are still around. Because Space Marines have a lifespan, well, granted, not an effective lifespan because they'll die before this, but there are Space Marines that are around 1,000 years old, which is the oldest the Space Marine has gotten, because and like no one knows if they can live forever, because Space Marines are people who are designed for war, and so they die young.
Well, not necessarily young.
Young as in first to 1,000.
There's been no accounted cases in all of 40k of a Space Marine dying of old age.
Yeah. It is the eternal question, and if you ask a Space Marine, they're also like, I don't fucking know.
They would say, it would be the greatest dishonor to me and my Primarch to have died before I could have fully served the Imperium.
Yeah. It's actually a really fun I've been rereading the Horus Heresy recently, and there's a fun conversation where a character is like, literally asked this, like, do Space Marines age? And he's like, I think we do. I've never seen one die of old age. We die like before that, like well before that can even happen. So even he's like very calmly explaining, like, we genuinely have no clue if we're functionally immortal, but that's not our purpose. We don't live forever. We fight and kill the enemies of mankind.
Anyways, anyone need help with character stuff? We're
yeah.
An hour and 13 minutes in, and
What?
it's supposed to have been Alex talking about Warhammer.
Which chapter are you, Alex?
Imperial Fist.
Cool, yeah. I'm thinking either Iron Hands or Fast Boys.
White Scars?
Scars, yeah.
Is everyone generally knowing what they're going to want to do, or are people still looking for the options?
I'm going Raven Guard.
Oh, I'm going for Space Corgi 100%. I was picking between Salamander or the Fast Boys, but then Space Corgis. How could I resist?
They're not that in canon, but it is still very funny. And also Space Wolves are dumb.
You could also just name yourself Corganus.
Oh yeah, you can 100% just add Annis to the end and you're fine.
Like Corganus Microcanus. There you go.
Yes.
Everything in 40k has to sound like fake Latin. That's another rule.
Kind of. Or super straight on the name, like on the nose naming conventions.
Yes, like Corvus Corax.
Angron. Angron, the angry Primarch.
I love Corvus Corax of the Raven Guard. Bird, as his name translates.
Bird.
Well, there's Ferrus Manus, which is literally Iron Hands.
Yeah, and he leads the Iron Hands.
What the fuck did you just send us, Alex?
That's a Space Corgi.
Yeah.
This is what it looks like when they take off their helmets.
Hell yeah.
I don't know which one I should go. Iron Hand or White Scar.
Which would you rather do? Run at the enemy full speed or have a lot of weird robot bits?
I mean, they both sound real cool.
By the way, if you want to, there's a section in the book I don't know. I gotta remember which page it is where you can actually look at all of your augments if that like decides it for you.
It's right after the Space Marine section.
Oh, is it actually just right
Space
after?
Marine
It's
and
directly.
plants.
Well, it's. I shouldn't say right after. It's technically right before they finish off the fucking Ultramarines.
The
Like, the
implants.
section gets
Oh,
cut off just so that they can put all the augments in.
Oh no! There's I mean the cybernetic parts you can attach to yourself.
Oh, the cybernetic parts. I thought you were talking about the.
That's going to be in page 312. That's going to be a lot of the stuff where you can augment your body and add like stuff. There's an entire area on mechadendrites, which are those like robot like tentacle arm things you see on some of the art. That's a mechadendrite. They're attached right to your spine, like your spinal column, and they essentially just literally act as a third arm. They can do anything from medical work to just being a gun to being a servo arm that can grab stuff for you, or like reading and analyzing data. It's a lot of different types and a lot of uses.
Alright, well, it sounds like everyone's kind of at least ready to get started with the actual process itself. So let's work on that, shall we? How are you doing, Devin? You've been quiet. Tempesta Scion. I mean, they're both like a Tempesta Scion is just an imp guard with a pedigree.
Yeah, you just went to college is the difference. Like legitimately, that is the difference. You went to college first before joining the guard.
Alright. So, because we're playing tier 3, somewhere y'all should mark that you have 300 points. And, I pull up my... Or, let me give y'all character sheets.
Yeah, I was about to ask.
that'd be helpful.
Completely forgotten.
I want to write down my name before I forget it.
And I decided on White Scar because I just
Same.
don't want to make it more complicated for me with all the
Yeah,
implants and
just
stuff.
give yourself a chain sword and run forward.
You're also going White Scar, Alicia?
Leash's puppies.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, you said same. I just don't know as to.
Those are the things
Oh, wait, I
before
did.
me.
Yeah, you did say same.
Someone
God,
said
I don't
something before
I
me
think-
that Alicia said. Same.
I think it was about like getting a character sheet or something.
Oh, okay, a few. I really like my name. I won't brag, but
What? Oh, Corganus Corgan. yeah, that sounds right. I see no errors in this name. Alright. So, unfortunately, for some god-awful reason, they decided to make some of the text light gray on this character sheet. I have no idea why. It makes no sense whatsoever.
Yeah, that's easy to read.
oh, I honestly thought they were not there.
yeah. Don't ask me. Whenever something, I think it's because the option is like not selected or something. I'm not even sure. God. All right. So there's an invisible section under your name called tier. You're tier 3.
Yeah, you can highlight it like and it'll you can actually read what it says.
Or hover.
Yeah, you can hover it as well. I don't think there's actually a place for the build points. So y'all just have to mark somewhere like with a calculator. what your build points are.
I think the one that like what we are, like your class is under framework.
Wait, you mean the archetype ability or species ability, Cam?
For what?
No, you said something about abilities and not being.
No, I said build
Species.
points.
Oh,
No, there's not a place for it. I'm just gonna put it in rank.
How many build points we got?
300.
That's quite a few.
You're
just
going
gonna
to
put
need
it in my name.
them. So what I'm going to tell y'all is this game is about rolling a butt ton of d6s. The more d6s you roll, the better. And because you are all playing tier 3, the maximum number of bonus dice you can add is 6. So that counts from your glory pool or whatever abilities you have. So just be careful with picking talents, not to overgo it, because that's actually kind of easy to do if you work with the numbers too much. Most of you are picking Adeptus Astartes, so you're gonna already spend 50 points picking that. Oh yeah, all your ratings also start off at 1 for your attributes. They have like the static array on right here. And there are like generalized arrays of skills and attributes if you just want to do like a pre-made build.
I like
And,
how fellowship is an attribute.
Yeah, Fellowship is this game's version of Charisma. Why it's called that, I don't know.
Wait, of what?
Fellowship is this game's version of Charisma. It's
Ah.
used for things like leadership, or insight, or deception, or cunning.
I know damn well why it's called.
Yeah, we're not going to really worry all too much about influence. So, picking Adeptus Astartes, it's going to be 50. Your strength, toughness, agility, and resolve are increased by 1. And your resolve is located under your mental stats at the bottom there. I love how one of the archetypes for the orcs is just called Orc Boy.
Yes.
Orc Boy.
Yep, they're standard trooper. They're boys with a Z.
Yeah. And then
Wait, where's resolve?
what?
Mental
Under
traits.
mental traits.
Mental traits towards the bottom.
Wait, what's the
Where?
difference between rating and adjusted rating? Did you already say that?
The adjusted rating is if there's anything currently affecting the stat. Some
Okay.
characters have abilities like Psychers to boost certain attributes. You can also get bionics that can adjust those as well. So once you've adjusted all those stats, then you're going to pick your archetype. For our Space Marines, I would recommend the Tactical Space Marine. You can pick the Space Marine Scout if you really wanted to, but you're going to be substantially more powerful if you take this Tactical Space Marine. And that will be an additional 50 points. Not only that, but I do believe they have requirements. Sorry, I do believe they have requirements. Let me check real quick. Because I believe they have to have like specific stats. Yes. In order to be a scout, you must have a 4 in your agility, 4 in your strength, and 4 in your toughness. And you must have a ballistic skill and weapon skill of 3. So, let's talk about spending points to get those. To get an attribute to 4 points, you'll need to spend a minimum of 18 build points. This can be found on page 156. Also to be mentioned, Space Marines can have a max of 10 in strength, toughness, intellect, and willpower, a max of 9 in agility, initiative, and speed, and a max of 8 in fellowship. Humans can have a max of 8 in anything for a Strength Guard. Oh. And that's not even counting for at character creation. At character creation, no character can have a base attribute maximum higher than 6. And you can only spend a total of 150 points on attributes. In total.
Wait, what's the total again? Sorry, I'm gonna write it down.
No worries. You can't spend more than 150 at character creation on attributes.
We only have 200. I don't know what else we're spending.
You have should have 250 because you start with 300, but you lose 50 battle points because you're build points because you're playing a Space Marine.
And then 50 for Adeptus Astartes?
Yeah, you spend 50 to play as an Adeptus Astartes, and then you need to spend 50 more to pick the tactical Space Marine. Yeah.
Yeah. What the fuck?
I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds like too many.
Sounds like Anima, but more complicated.
Yeah. I don't think we have enough points for that. I don't know.
What the fuck you guys get me into?
It's not that hard. So you spend your 100 points, and then you need to spend enough points to get your strength, agility, and toughness up to 4. And
Okay.
that's going to be
and that's 18 each?
18 a pop, yeah.
Even if we're already at 2 for all of those because of our race?
Let me see if that's bonus or get 2, because it might be get 2. But let's see. I see. So for the ones you start at, you pay the difference in what you get. So for a lot of you, you start with like a 2 in those stats. So you'll subtract 4. So it'll actually be 14 points for the ones that you have 2 points in.
So 42 total to get all 3 up to the 4.
And then, excuse me, you'll need to buy your ballistic skill and weapon skill at up to 3. And that will be 6 points for those 2. Or, well, 6 points each for those 2. So, for our Space Marines, to get everything that you need,
We'd be at 146. That's how many points we have left.
Yep.
oops,
So get ballistics to 3, right? Just trying to
Yes.
make sure.
yes. Yeah, so you should have 146 points left over. And then you're probably all going to want to next, before you invest in any more attributes or skills, you're going to want to probably look at the talents, which starts on page 169.
Nice.
Because a lot of them will have prerequisites of certain skills. For instance, marksman is a very good one. It's 20 points, and you can aim to reduce the called shot target number, essentially. Stuff like that. And then also you can get augmetic, which is 20 plus the value of the augmetic or cybernetic implant you want to put in, which that one's also really good. All humans, which will be all of you, will get access to a free bionic. You know, Alex, I can see why this book came with built-in bookmarks.
Yep.
Because you definitely need it.
Where do the talents go?
Sorry, what's up?
Where do the talent things go?
Info tab on your
Yeah,
top right.
at the very top of the character sheet, you'll see a little mark of info next to core. That will take you to a different page.
And which one should we get?
I mean, it's up to you. Marksman's good if you plan on using guns and, you know, taking the time to aim.
There's one for you. I think it's like Storm of Steel. Because I'm pretty sure with White Scars, like how your rules are, if you just want to be in someone's face, making it so multi-attacking when melee is easier for you might not be a bad get.
Storm of Death.
That's it.
We need a weapon skill of 4.
And which one is it for free, Cam? Is it an augment or a cybernetic implant?
It's a bionic, I believe is what it's called.
Okay. 'Cause that might... bionic reconstruction?
Yeah, bionic reconstruction.
That's it.
You get one of those for free, and that's on page 312.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
pretty sure that's only determined by your background or class. You can't buy into being a psychic.
Aw.
Okay. So, yeah, for the bionic reconstruction, y'all just say you have some bionic part of your body. That's it. That's all it does.
all the Space Marines to just get bombardment as a talent. Just calls it a bombardment one.
We need air support now. Everyone calls it in on their own individual channels.
Yeah, calls it a bombardment once per game. So we just
Oh
have
my
4
god.
bombardments just to use. But it does cost 40.
Worth it.
And whenever it mentions rank, that's essentially your skill level. Like you have 3 ballistic ranks, essentially.
Yeah, I'm getting a bombardment.
Ooh. Imp Guard or Tempestus Scion can gain special weapon choices with the Special Weapons Trooper. Oh, Steel and Doom is really good for all you Space Marines. Because it just gives you 1.5 your ranks and damage to Space Marine weapons. But that depends. You don't have to necessarily be super fighty Space Marines. You're going to be that inherently.
Where are the costs for upgrading your skills?
It's just the difference in what you have.
But what page is that on?
I believe it was 156. Yes. Or sorry, skills.
Yeah.
Skills is on page 162. And you're going to use the total build point cost. And because you're starting at tier 3, you can have a maximum skill of 6. And this is kind of how it works in the war game, I have to add. You pick
It's
units,
not too far
they're
off.
worth a certain number of points, and then if you want to add or take things away from them, you add or subtract points.
Okay, is that why there's a 20 plus right next to the augmentic thing?
The
Because I was
augmentic
wondering
is-
about that.
Yeah, the augmentic is 20 plus the value of the augment you're picking up. So each of the augmentics, which are on page 312. Well,
I'll repeat that. Sorry, you cut out a little bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm leaning away from my mic. So it's 20 plus the value of the augmetic that you select. The augmetics can be found on page 312, and they'll give you a value. Like, augmetic arms have a value of 4, for instance. Or augmetic eyes have a value of 6. And so it's going to be 24 or 26, depending on whatever you take.
Okay.
And what do these augments do? Do we just say, having better these parts would help with whatever we're doing?
On page 314, it goes into more detail on what each of the augmetics do.
You can inspect it to turn all the gray text black. It's actually really easy too. you just like right click.
Oh my god, you know what it is? It's the dark mode.
Oh, probably, yeah, actually.
If you turn dark mode off, everything on the character sheet.
Oh my god.
Yeah, the dark mode doesn't do well with a lot of the old stuff on Roll20. I thought about that first. I was like, wait a second. We're at 999 subscribers.
Oh shit.
Oh shit.
Oh,
Hell yeah.
We are 1 subscriber away, maybe more depending on, because whenever you stream, bots will automatically sub to your account so they can make messages. So sometimes I've had like 2 to 3 people unsub in like a day because they're bots after we stream. And like I kind of mentioned before, I don't expect everyone here to get done with their characters today, necessarily. But today is the day that I can sit here and help y'all, so...
So how many melee focused Space Marines do we have?
me.
I have a mix of both. I have a bolter, but I plan to reflavor a weapon as a weapon that is sadly not in the book.
Which one?
The Crozius.
I don't know that one. What's that one?
The Crozius is the weapon the chaplains wield. It's whenever you see a weird mace, it is a mace that creates a small gravitational field around the hitty part. So it does more damage because you're pulled into the mace as a Space Marine hits you with it.
That's pretty cool. I mean,
It
it
is.
came out in like an expansion book or something.
From what it seems like it did, and I plan to just have a Crozius because that's the thing chaplains wield, or I was just gonna reflavor like a power weapon as one. But also just like bolt pistol. And my whole thing as well is I'm actually speccing into fellowship, actually. So I am making sure that I have a pretty good charisma.
That's good. There's a lot of really good helpful skills. You can even reduce like fear conditions with it, so. And fear is a really bad thing in this game.
That's a chaplain's job. I give little sermons that make you feel better about yourself.
I think I'm gonna be the stealthy one.
Hell yeah.
Oh, the Raven Guard is the stealthy one. You don't
Who could have
say.
seen this coming?
What a thunk.
Who would have thought?
You know, fuck you, Cameron. I'm gonna make the most not stealthy Raven Guard now.
Okay.
It's your funeral, I guess.
Primarch.
Damn, you're right. I can't do that.
You would disappoint the Raven like that?
No.
He's currently having... No, well, the meme is that he's currently having a temper tantrum in the warp right now because he's writing poetry. The real answer is that he's a shape-shifted Raven monster hunting Lorgar to the end of the earth. He's a monstrosity that was harassing Lorgar as just this creature clad in shadow and feathers.
I like the TTS version better. If I ever become a millionaire, I'll just be like, dump money, make more TTS.
I would love that.
I'll pay you 100k a year.
That's all he needs, because he just currently needs to support his family.
Oh. I'll be back. I do have to change out laundry.
Being responsible. Oh wait, don't worry, you're
What a
good.
loser.
Actually.
No, I'm gonna cry about this, Alicia.
Good.
What? No.
You tell him, Alicia.
I can't
Go
actually
off.
be a bully.
Go off, Alicia.
Being responsible, that's for chumps. Pff, I'm not responsible. Pff, I never go to bed early. I get 2 hours of sleep. And I party every night.
Relatable.
So,
You know, I unironically really love this thumbnail.
It's a good thumbnail. I'm a good
super
subject.
Funny. It's super funny.
I'm a good subject for a thumbnail.
It's Warhammer, I guess.
All right, that is all my points spent. Well, I have 3 points left over, but what are you gonna do?
Oh yeah, that's Warhammer too.
Yeah, I have 3 points left over. What are you gonna do about it? Yeah, there we go. My character, at least stat-wise, has been made.
Yes. Did you pick your background and your... Oh goodness.
Oh, I do have to actually do the background. Where the hell's the background part?
Yeah, it goes sequentially. Let's see here.
Select an archetype, attributes, war
Background
gear.
starts on page 186, and more specifically, it doesn't even do anything.
It's like a flavor thing.
Oh,
Though, where is it? Because I'm actually curious what
186.
maps. 186.
Yeah. And then goals are on 191 for humans.
Yeah, high roll.
And then what were the rules for gearing after that? All characters begin with the war gear provided by their archetype. You also get 1 trinket, and then characters may purchase up to a tier plus 1 additional trinkets. So you get 4 trinkets, and you get the war gear provided by your archetype.
Alright, and I will also... and I guess if you are starting at something higher than tier 2, you get to select an accomplishment.
Yes.
So I already know what I'm picking. I already mentioned it as much. My Space Marine is a veteran of Cadia. He was there on the Phalanx. I'm so sorry for your loss.
How's it like knowing that most of the people you've ever known and grew up with are dead now?
There's a reason this framework is survivor's guild.
Ah.
How does it feel to know that those that still survive on the floating crusts of Cadia now curse the Emperor's name and worship the ruinous powers?
Some of them.
The ones that are currently alive after the small little crusade led by Trajan Valoris. Because Trajan went to go, he fucked up some of the cults that were rising on the crust of Cadia. On the floating bits that are still, I guess, inhabited. There's still some people there.
Yeah.
Warp
guess.
fuckery.
Is the best way to put it.
It is inside the warp, so live it, it's just weird.
We have officially hit 1K subscribers.
Yo!
Yes!
Oh,
Let's go!
fucking love this channel. You guys are cool.
There's a K now next to it.
There's
Oh.
a K now next to it.
Oh god, Cam's and Warhammer shit.
1000K.
Oh god.
Yeah, someone already commented. I think it just ticked over to 1K. Congrats. It's... You know what's crazy? It's crazy so many people have been supporting, like, everyone's like, oh, you need more subs, or, you know, like, someone literally has been watching the... Yeah, 2 people commented. Someone just commented, happy to be the 999th subscriber. Congratulations to whoever gets 1,000. And then someone else just posted, I think it just ticked over to 1,000. Congrats, dude.
Holy shit.
Like, people
Let's
are
go.
literally watching the channel to get to 1,000K. Isn't that crazy?
Damn.
That's awesome.
All y'all doing that, you're the real ones.
Not as real as me, who tried to subscribe at least 3 times, but Twitch said it's not allowed.
You have a tendency to get banned all the time, though, Sarah.
Yeah. Twitch just decided that I'm
Your
not
subs
allowed
are
to
worth
subscribe to
nothing.
you.
Yeah, but are you a real fan if you don't even know about the Town of Salem video?
True.
Oh.
Everyone right now, go watch
Okay, guys,
Town
we're
of
beyond
Salem.
that now. That's the old channel. Leave it, let it die.
Oh, the Town of Salem video.
You can't be a backlog game reviewer without seeing that video.
True. It's important to the lore of this channel.
No.
Honestly, you won't get like 90% of the jokes we make if you don't watch the Town of Salem.
No.
So true.
I didn't even know most of you at that time.
And that's just how good the video is.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
Terrible.
Transcends I remember what I was doing when Town of Salem first dropped.
Me too.
Same.
Right
There's a
under
little
the
moon on the left-hand side.
toolbar. Yeah, right under the toolbar.
I'm too lazy to turn off dark mode, so I just did inspect and changed all the fucking text that's gray to black. And that worked.
Alright, now to add all my equipment.
Man, I don't know what.
I'll find a Crozius or at least something similar. You could give it a peek over, make sure everything's in ship shape, Cam.
Okay.
I have 106 points. I don't know where to put them for attributes and skills and everything else.
I don't even know.
Alex, tell me what to do. I'll do it.
Honestly, what I did is I just found the frame, like the ones that's like, if you just spend this much, here's what you'll get. I bought like the tier 2 skill thing. I'm a space marine. I don't need to be smart. I did get rid of the important thing to note. If you are doing that, you do get to subtract 20 from like the archetype, like that framework thing, because what I did is I refunded the 20 I spent to get my ballistic skill and weapon skill to 3, and then just both use like the 70-point framework to make them both 4s.
Okay.
Because, then you're paying for 2 skill increases for the same thing.
Honestly, thought we were supposed to go to tier 3 and do it like that. Did I do it wrong by accident?
No, you're right.
I mean, you can have the tier 3 skills if you want. That's up to you. It'll just cost more.
Oh, okay.
Well, because you're all playing tier 3 characters, so... One second, I'm tweeting and doing stuff. I'll look in just a bit.
Oh yeah, make sure to only use meters, and make sure you include the O next to the U's for like colors and armor and all that. We are British now.
Oh no.
The fuck did I sign myself up for?
Pip pip
What are
cheerio.
meters? I'm American.
My gun shoots 40 meters. I don't know what that means. I don't know how far that is. What is that? How many football fields is that?
I hereby request all of the books of Warhammer to be translated into American. So, how many feet?
Oh yeah, our Discord is also at 80. I think without the bots, 85 or 84 people.
It's amazing.
We've been getting new Discord members like, God, like at least a couple every day.
Yeah, there's been a lot recently.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
And we're talking about ascending a imp guard, right? Where was the rules on the ascending stuff? I remember seeing it somewhere. And I was wrong. Rank is not determined by your skill ranks. It is determined by essentially your XP. And so you have a certain number of ranks based on what tier you are.
You keep cutting out. It's determined by what?
Oh, I'm sorry. Leaning away from the mic again. This happens when I read. So ranks is not skill ranks. Ranks is based on essentially like your XP, in a sense, within your tier. So your characters are initiate rank for tier 3 and have a rank bonus of 1. So whenever something mentions rank bonus added, you're adding 1 or 1 rounded up if it's 1/2.
Okay.
Ascension, build a character at their minimum tier. Purchase at least one Ascension package. May not purchase the same package more than once. Spend any remaining build points to reach the minimum required for the character's new tier. And let's see, what page is that on for the explanation stuff? Because I see it here. Which pack did you get? Say the course. I see. And was there a expand? Do you know what the expanded page for Ascension stuff is? Let's see. That's combat. Ascending. Here we go. All right. Stay the course. You have +1 influence per tier ascended, so your character would actually have. So yeah, you have a good amount of influence. You get +2 to your influence because you've survived as long as an imp guard, which is fair. What was your question? Now I'm here reading it. Yes, it does say right here, this may include cybernetics, which are augmetics as well. Yeah, you get 2 rare and 1 very rare. Isn't music even playing right now?
I think they might have ended. It's only like a 2-3 hour track. You can play the Mechanicus theme soundtrack.
It's still playing. It's just very quiet.
Yeah, it's been cycling through battle themes and the species themes because each like faction has their own music in that game.
Aw, now people are thanking me on Twitter. It's crazy to think some people have jumped into Pathfinder because of my videos.
It's ridiculous.
Weird.
It's really, really fun.
Yeah, like...
Honestly? Sorry.
No, go ahead.
No, you go. I interrupted you.
Okay, fine. It's crazy to think that this is a legitimate channel. Like, officially, now, this is a legitimate YouTube channel that's earning revenue as soon as we get onboarded to the YouTube program.
Ooh.
Honestly, that's amazing.
And we did it by the end of the month.
Yeah,
Hell
we
yeah.
did it sooner than
Yeah.
expected, and that was with me getting COVID and not doing anything for 2 weeks, and honestly, the channel stagnating for like 2 weeks as well.
Yeah, Mister. I don't know if we're gonna make the we're gonna get that goal. Look at us. Look what we did.
This fucking doubter.
Well, you know, oh, okay. Actually, straight up, like, actually, I don't think I can show this. I'm gonna, I'll do this on our Discord. I don't know if I can show it on stream, but right now I'm going to hit the apply button. Will I
Oh.
give you a moment for everyone to check in who wants to? Let me turn the music down. It's probably down way too loud on stream.
Oh god, it's really loud on stream.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
it should be a lot better now.
Oh shit. He's gotta do it.
Alright, let's change that
Wow, you have
volume.
a lot of watch hours.
Yeah, yeah. We got the 4,000 required watch hours in like the first 5 months or something like that. We've more than doubled the required watch hours. Alright. Fly now.
Oh.
Alright.
No one reads these anyways.
Yeah. I guess I'll take those emails. I have an account specifically for my YouTube for mailing.
Smart.
I don't remember if I do.
Why would you?
Because I actually had an AdSense account at one point, way back when, before YouTube had a
Actually.
requirement for it.
There's also just the I don't know option.
Let's go down. Let's see. Search mail.
Anyways, my brain, so much new information in the news system. I don't know what to do. This always happens. But I got my 4s in strength, agility, and toughness, 1s in everything else, but I have my skills picked out with 52 points remaining. I don't know what to do.
At that case, you could just spend the rest to increase your attribute. Because I at least made it so I have my attributes. My lowest right now is a 3.
But do I need my points for my equipment?
I don't think you do.
Oh, okay, because that's what I was worrying about. Okay.
Yeah, and like besides that, the starting equipment, the most you're gonna want to do is currently looking at the weapons. Yes. Yeah, it's the exact same in the wargame. It's WS for melee. BS for shooty. This is really sad actually. There's no claw weapons. That's the Raven Guard's favorite shit.
Damn, I was gonna be more rangy anyways, because we have 2 melees.
That's fair. I can go either or. I have the talent for Astartes weapons I do more damage with. Or weapons with the Astartes keyword, mainly.
Yeah, because you took that talent, right? That gives you
Yeah.
bonuses, yeah.
Can I have help picking my background? I don't know why, but I'm being very indecisive.
For like your for some flavor stuff of your character.
Yeah. And for picking, for
yeah, what
putting
page?
into the box.
What page you on?
186.
Okay, I can at least tell you what those things were.
Okay.
So, because mainly the background stuff is going to be your for Imperial Origin. This is basically where you came from before you were made a Space Marine. If you want to be super lore accurate, you would have been on a Pharaoh world, because then you would be from Fenris, which is where Space Wolves are from.
Okay, that makes sense.
Which may or may not be near the Galliad system.
Yeah, Fenris is a death world, and death worlds in 40k, we mentioned that before, is a world that is, by all accounts, inhospitable for human life. Yet there's a lot of inhabited death worlds because some factions just make do. Fenris is an entirely icy planet filled with giant monsters and lots of wolves.
Hell yeah.
It's actually a really dope. It's one of the better shorts that they made for this little thing they did. For an initiation of Space Wolves, the leaders play this game that requires like teeth of like monsters to play, and they send an aspirant out for each like player to go collect the biggest tooth. And they'll just find a big monster and rip one of its teeth out, and they have to deliver it to their like sponsor to help them win this game. And that means you are allowed to become a Space Marine.
That's amazing.
It's really cool. For Raven Guard, you have to catch a bird in the forest. Imperial Fists are sent through the Tunnel of Pain, or the Tunnel of Terror. That's it. You're sent through a little funny amusement park ride that makes you real scared. And then, other than that, you also get to pick an accomplishment, which is 189, which is something your character has done beforehand. There's a lot of interesting stuff. That is stuff that has happened for Space Marines. You could either have been from the Fall of Cadia, the Hive Fleet Leviathan survivor, the event where Hive Fleet Leviathan, which is a giant hive ship of Tyranids. Happily, you can see them in the art below. Where they're the biggest invasion fleet they've brought into our galaxy. It killed trillions and trillions of people. Oh. Indominus Crusade veteran was very recently. That's with good old-fashioned robot gorilla man came back. He led a giant crusade against against a lot of places after the Great Rift opened up. Primarily, one of the things was against his brother, Mortarion, of the Primarch of the Death Guard. And then there's also Plague Survivor, which just means you were in an area that was hit with Nurgle's Rot, which is a disease that creates zombies.
Ooh.
Other than that, like, marked as a traitor, you'd be killed if you were a Space Marine. And then Escape Slave, you would not be alive if you were a Space Marine captured by Drukhari.
Okay.
Yeah, it's just for flavor. It's just whichever one of those you think sound cool.
Okay, that makes sense. I don't know why I was being indecisive, but thank you.
A lot of this is flavor stuff. Alright, now to build a Crozius.
Hey Cameron, am I missing anything on my sheet? I feel like I am.
Let me take a check. Corgan. Let's see. Oh, you went 5 in athletics. That's gonna be fun.
I gotta be a beefy Marine.
You are very beefy. You roll 9 dice on athletics checks.
I rolled 9 on stealth checks
That's also pretty good.
and 10 on
Good.
and 10 on ballistics.
Ballistics. Tactical Space Marine. Info. Augmetic Eyes. Sounds good. Did you spend all your points?
Not yet. That's the hardest thing for me right now. I don't know what to spend it on.
Alright, it looks good otherwise to that. How many points do you have left over?
31. I put it right next to my name.
Okay, that's what the BP 31 is. Okay. Let's see. There are some really good talents to pick up. Especially because you went melee. What weapon are you using, or do you know?
I do not know.
Storm of Death is a really good talent. It's worth 30 points, which would take up the rest of the points, and all it requires is your weapon skill is 4 or higher. What is your weapon skill? 5. So you qualify.
Sweet.
And that one would add, or that one reduces the penalty for making multi-attacks. Let's see here. Steel and Dew. No, Storm of Death. Yeah, you reduce each one by 1, which would be pretty good. So that one would be probably my recommendation for those 30 points. Just make it so you can go in and crush people in melee combat.
Oh, hell yeah. And what page is that on? Sorry, I forgot to write it. I did write down, but I didn't write down
No worries.
what was.
You can find it on... the shortened version is on page 170, and the expanded version is on page 180.
Sweet.
And then it looks like the only other thing you need to do is add equipment.
Oh no, you cut out again. Sorry.
Oh,
Can you
sorry.
repeat that?
And then it looks like the only other thing you need to do is add equipment.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, because I don't have my headset on today, I had to reduce my gain so that you don't hear y'all's voices doubled up.
Alex, it makes sense for me to have my fellowship at 1, right?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Is that not mandatory?
Okay, I have all of my points spent. I just gotta figure out everything else.
It's really not that hard. All your gear, your war gear is determined by your archetype, so you just go to that page. Sorry, I leaned away again. Your war gear is determined by your archetype, so you just go to that page.
And is there anything specific about adding extra war gear?
That's only if you have ascension points.
Okay.
But you are all tiered up for this adventure. The base Space Marine is worth Devin's Ascended Imp Guard. Ascension 2 Imp Guard, I have to state.
Okay. I just wanted to know if there's anything I should spend, because the melee weapon I just created for myself is it's basically in between a chainsword and a force weapon.
Mm-hmm.
So it is like it's in between that little thing. Feel free to give that a peek. But I also wanted to add myself a pistol that chaplains use on the tabletop. Though if I'm unable to do so, I will cease that. It's the Inferno pistol. Chaplains also use that.
Fair. But also,
I just want to know if there's anything I should add.
Without using a chain gun.
What's
Not
that?
Chain gun. How can you play Warhammer without using a chain bayonet?
That is true. I look longingly toward the chainsword or the chain whatevers, but I do really like chaplains. But yeah, I was just wondering if there's anything of like, can you buy weaponry? Because I'm looking around and I don't really see much.
All right. I think once they review the account, hopefully we'll be set to go in like a day.
Yo.
Hell yeah.
Oh, I found it. Okay, I found it. So it looks like you can actually use adding upgrades and stuff. You spend battle points equal to the value of the upgrade, so the value stat. That makes sense.
I see.
Yeah, okay. That makes sense. Then I do have 6 remaining. And I'll say a Crozius is value 6. Because that's how much a power sword is. That's roughly what I based it on.
All right. So we'll wait for all that to get done, and
Yeah, I'm just adding my equipment currently. A lot of manually entering stuff.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but you might be able to copy paste it from the PDF, but I'm not sure.
They're
I
like
can.
individual boxes. Oh, you can?
It doesn't look too great, but you can fix it. But
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Now the sad thing is the subscriber count is only gonna go up whenever we hit every 100. At least for what
No.
y'all will see. But cool. Well, who would have guessed that a Warhammer stream was when we were gonna hit 1,000
I
subscribers?
told you we should have done this.
Should have done it
Yeah,
so long
we should have
ago.
done this months ago. We would have hit 1K so much sooner.
Told you. I keep telling you repeatedly, you gotta keep listening to me.
This is what everyone's
Every
waiting for.
piece of advice I've given has worked out for this channel.
I'm gonna say a hard no on that fact there, Captain.
Okay, Mr. Why Blank is awesome, being your most successful thing and the thing that's boosted you. Who gave you that idea?
I admit, you're, well, kind of. You were the model of viewer in which I designed it for.
Exactly.
It wasn't your idea. It was, hey, I want to make some shorter form content, and you're like, yeah, I really hate looking at videos that are like an hour long. I don't got time for that.
I don't.
I agree. That's why I've dedicated dedicated this part of the channel to, well, people like you. And now now the real work begins, Alex. Because now the more profitable the channel is, the sooner I can hire you.
Hell yeah.
And we
Where do I-
also have that big project we're working on.
How we do?
Oh, the Lancer video?
No, no. Uh,
Where do I write down my implant?
Augmetics go on the info page, I think under gear.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, well, there's actually. Yeah, it's just here. Where do I find the influence page? Is it really
312?
yes, that's where it starts.
That's where it starts, yeah.
Wait, there's also page 97, which specifically lists Space Marine implants.
Yeah.
Yeah,
that
those stuff
one-
you have at the
That
beginning.
Oh, we,
one is
we
just
have.
a reference page for links.
Yes.
Oh.
You start with all of those. That's what makes you a Space Marine. Everything on those implants.
Oh, shit.
Yeah.
I thought we
All
were choosing
those.
one of those.
No, you have
Oh.
all those, and as Space Marines, you get a barter with me whether you get a bonus to a check or not based on what organ it is effective.
Yep.
Oh, fuck yeah.
Like
dude,
big thing too is like Space Marines have really really good balance because they have their ears are augmented, like their inner ear is really like sensitive to sound and like changes in position. So it's really hard for a Space Marine to lose its balance unless it's like hit really hard, you know?
Literally, you can pretty much get a bonus to almost everything. You just gotta tell me by weird Warhammer logic why I should. That's the game.
and they have one for kidneys too, which is really important.
Oh, shit.
And you also have poisonous spit. So you can bite someone and barter with me the fact that you do more damage because you have poisonous spit.
Yes.
So one thing I will also provide, and this is for all of you. Probably, I do not believe you've seen it. I've linked. It's 13 minutes long. This is a short. It's called The Stardies. It's one of the, if not the best, 40K fan film ever made. This perfectly exemplifies what a Space Marine is and does and how they act. Honestly, don't need to act like this, but this is them in battle and how fucking terrifying and effective they are. My favorite thing about this video is the Space Marines, when not being blocked by weird magic bullshit, every single shot hits a target.
Oh,
When you are a Space Marine, you don't miss. That's not like a rule. You just do not miss.
damn.
Insane accuracy, bionics, smart lens targeting, and just really good training. Also, the short slaps, so I highly recommend it.
Damn. Alex, where do I what thing do I choose
That's
for my augment?
314 for you. Oh, for augment. I mean, are you're going shooty?
Stealthy shooty.
I mean, eyes or legs could be funny. You can jump and run faster and stealth while running.
I have a jetpack.
Yeah, but you can run and stealth. Make your legs real good. That, or I mean, like, you could give yourself some eyeballs.
I already have eyeballs.
Yeah, but better ones. Oh,
I
wait,
can
there
already
you
see
go.
low light.
Reticule Eye. Recipient gains a 1D bonus to ballistic skill tests.
Oh
Get
shit.
an extra
Okay.
dice.
Oh, okay. So then you really have that. Fucks this up a bit. Let's see.
Yeah, it's something
You're
you
looking at the
Bionic reconstruction.
yeah. Yeah, y'all just get it for free, say you have some kind of metal parts.
Oh yeah, and a trinket. I know
Where's
exactly.
Reticule Eye?
It's in under the eyeball. There's a there's one of the available patterns is reticule eye.
I also we're also at 118 followers on Twitch. That's not super good because we've actually been at 100 for a long time, but still, we're doing pretty good overall, everything considered. Oh, feels good. All right, well, it seems like for the most part, everyone is getting done and everything is set. We will be doing a special sometime soon. I am still in the works of getting more Dark Archive stuff out. The Chrono Skimmer is coming up here tomorrow. And then we have 2 more archetypes. And then my journey through Dark Archive is done for now. And I can rest. But we will be doing some more stuff here coming up. I still gotta figure out what I want to do for a special, because I honestly have no idea. Honestly, maybe we'll do something for Table Talk this week. I'm not sure.
It's up to you.
We gotta brainstorm something up. And if it's Thursday, that's also appropriate because wait, no, I won't be done until Friday. Oh God, you know how many archetypes are in this book?
I know it's a good amount.
10.
Oof.
Plus 2 classes. Or sorry, 8 plus 2 classes for a total of 10.
Damn.
So it's been
Oh,
10
no.
videos I've had to produce almost back to back. Took a couple days off for the weekend.
Wait, no, I think I'm going actually Night's Eye. I gained the benefit of Prey Sense goggles, which allows me to see through fog and shit.
That will be really
And
handy in this
darkness.
actually. Because you guys
Yeah.
will be dealing with stuff in the fog.
I'm immune to penalties due to darkness and fog.
Probably useful for a stealth person for sure.
But yeah,
Damn,
so you
Alex,
know what? I
can't
think
believe you.
we're gonna go ahead and close out for the day so that people can leave who want to leave, and I can just kind of like get off streamer mode for a little bit. But thank you all so much for those who were watching, for those who participated, and for my players here, as well as those who watch us after the fact. We get a lot of people. Probably 90% of all views on these videos are after we're done streaming. So it's very interesting. It's very interesting to watch that people go back and watch our streams. And yeah, we got a lot of fun things coming up, as I said. Just be on the lookout. With that, I guess we're going to go ahead and say goodbye.
See
Good
ya
night.
Good night,
next week.
everyone.
See ya.
Bye.